people, it's your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. Want to see the latest stuff I got in my thrift store haul? Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and eBay. And then I also have a data analytical tool for the Poshmark sales report. It goes through and shows you different metrics to help you figure out how you're doing, try new strategies, see what worked for you, and all of that jazz. I do a lot of videos and content on my Instagram around data analytics and how to use it to hit your goals. You do not have to be a full-time reseller. You do not have to be a very motivated part-time reseller. You just have to be selling. And it helps you to be smarter, work smarter and not harder, and figure out strategies that work for you, because something different works for everybody. Today, as promised, I'm going to do a little haul video for you. This haul was maybe 2 weeks ago. Like I said, I'm a part-time mom. No, I'm a full-time mom of 3, a part-time reseller. And so I went shopping 2 weeks ago, and October we have 3 birthdays, families coming to town today, Halloween. It's just crazy. So this is the first time I've had to do a haul. I've actually already listed just 2 items, and both of them sold within 1 day. One sold within an hour of listing it. Let me scooch over. No, let me scooch this way. I will pop them here. The first one is this wonderful, amazing pair of Doc Martens. I don't always buy Doc Martens are like totally in right now, so if you see a pair, definitely pick them up if they hit your average profit margin. But I don't always pick them up because my area, I tend to shop at retail stores and they know Doc Martens. And so I don't usually pick them up because they're priced too high and I can't make enough money off of them. But the 2 pairs that I've bought, I found one at the bins. It sold in 2 days at a good price, and a price that I was okay with. That's everybody's good price is different, and so I don't actually share a lot of my numbers, because what I am looking for is different than what you're looking for, and that's why I have that analytical tool, so that you can look at your numbers and compare to yourself and figure out how to meet your goals and what you need to do to meet your goals. I go through and I have, in the simulator, in the dashboard, there is a average sale price. You enter in how much you want to make for the month, and it'll tell you need to sell items that hit, based off of your historical trends, you need to up your sale price to this amount of money to hit that monthly monetary goal. So I kind of keep that in mind when I am out shopping. I take the profit and see if that hits it. And so both Doc Martens, the average sale price hit the profit that I was aiming for. And the first pair sold in 2 days, and the second pair sold in 1 hour. No, that's a lie. I got 2 offers within the first 2 hours, and I countered one and they didn't come back. And then I countered the other for a price, and we kind of went back a couple times, and then I do this thing called sleep. I went to bed that night and woke up in the morning and accepted their last counter. So, I mean, that's a pretty quick sale. The second item that sold are these amazing school boots. I want to show you, or I want to tell you, the backs that I heart UGG, which I had never seen before. I bought them, came home and researched them because I can take them back. Come home and research them, and they are actually geared towards like a younger, hippier, trendier market, hence the skulls on them. And it is like the perfect season, right, with Halloween coming up, to list them. So I made sure to get those ones listed really quick before Halloween came, and those sold within a day for like well above my average sale price. So let's get started. And I'm going to go through and tell you why I picked up each item. In general, when I am out shopping, I aim to hit my average sale price in the simulator. I mentioned it a minute ago, but the simulator goes through and you say, I want to make this amount of money, and it'll tell you based off of your historical trends, you need to either sell this many items at your average sale price that you've been selling at, or you need to up your average sale price if you consistently are selling around this many items. I have a hard time selling more items, because to me, to sell more items, you have to be more active, you have to be shopping more, you have to be selling more, you have to be listing more, you have to be sharing more, you have to, and that's hard for me. So I do aim for that one, but I do also aim to increase my average sale price. And so what I go through with each item when I'm at the store, I find everything that I want, I go through and I make sure that it is to my condition that I want. And then I go through and I figure out the average sale price. I use Completely, or I can't think of the other one right now. But there's a couple websites out there that will give you comps. Drop a note down below if you're interested in the other ones, or send me a DM. I'll probably leave it in the descriptions too. But there are comps. So I go through and I look up the comp on this Coach purse. What are the comps on this Coach purse? And then I take out how much I would spend on it. So how much does it cost? And that'll give you your profit. But then I take out the seller fees. So I usually do 20%. 20% is Poshmark. eBay, give or take, depending on how you list it and the fees and everything, I just round it to 20%. And that's going to be my profit. Is that profit hit what I had in the simulator? And if it does, then I take it. And if it doesn't, then I put it back. And it's really hard, because you see some really awesome items and then you're like, oh, I wouldn't make as much money as the simulator is telling me to. And so then you have to put it back. But it's really helped me increase my sales, or increase my profit margins, and to help me make the money that I want to be making every month. I'll tell you why I picked up each item. Let's get started. So in my analytical tool for Poshmark, I know bags is one of my top sellers. Bags, shoes, and dresses tend to be my top categories. What I love about bags and shoes is there's no seasonality to them. Shoes, you have like boots and then sandals and stuff, but you wear shoes all year round. Bags, you carry all year round, and people will tend to spend a little bit more money on a bag, and bags can keep a higher quality. If you can find high-end bags, I can buy one that's vintage. I love vintage purses, and they're still in like amazing condition. So this is a Michael Kors. I am going to tell you, I did go through and quickly look at all of these to make sure I think that they're real. I have not gone through and authenticized them or double checked and made sure. But I will show you how I did quickly check. So there's a little tag on the inside, and it has, this is their newer style, which is awesome. Who doesn't want a newer style of Michael Kors? Michael Kors purses is about all that I'll pick up. Sometimes they're boots, but his other stuff doesn't really sell great. This hit my average sale price. I looked at the comps, I took out how much it cost, I took out the fees, and that average, that number, that profit hit my average sale price that my simulator was telling me. Here's a Coach. And so what I love about Coach, and I'll leave it down below, but if you go to Design Diva, I think is the name of the Facebook group, they will help you authenticize bags if you're not sure. They don't do all brands, but there's a vintage Coach guy in there who's like amazing. So this is Coach, and what I love about Coach, can you see? So there's a creed and a number in there. And if you look at that number online and all of these same style purses come up, I feel comfortable that it's real. I oftentimes will still put it in that group to make sure, but that's kind of my gut check in, should I purchase this at the store? This one, again, hit, all of the purses hit my average sale price. This one, I actually sold one just like this. It was like a brown distressed one. It was gorgeous. I sold it, buy it now on Poshmark for $160. I don't know that this one will sell as high, because that one looked like it had like never been used. Michael Kors, and this one has like the lining, has some stuff on it. Let me find the tag for you. Yeah, so this one has, there's a Michael Kors tag on the inside. I like to, so I've mentioned in some of my other videos, when I get home, I hang my stuff up right away because these items look so much prettier hung up than they do in bags on the floor. And then they're like looking at me. Every time I come downstairs to do laundry, they like look at me. So it helps me list quicker. And then it also helps for like the clothes. It kind of helps them air out a bit so that you have to do like less steaming and stuff. Mommy's doing a YouTube video.
Oh.
Right.
Well, you didn't have the door closed, so.
My husband just came down and is making all kinds of loud noises. This one is a Coach, vintage Coach, and now here comes my 2-year-old making noise.
Upstairs.
Yay for daddy on vacation. Hi,
Hi,
Bear. So here's the Creed 2. And you can see the number there. So if you just quickly look it up online, and this bag comes up, I feel comfortable buying it because I think it's real. And these, like I said, these all hit my average sale price. Typically, the Coach, not typically, but most purses that I buy are above. I find that they sell a lot higher than some of my other stuff, which is another reason that I love it. Look at this Coach one. Oh my God. Tell me this isn't like, tell me that doesn't look so cute with me. Oh, like the vintage look is so in. Here's the Creed on this Coach one. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Yeah, it's right in there. It's the Creed stamped right in there. Sometimes they don't pull out. It's adjustable, crossbody. Guys. I love vintage purses. I actually currently have a crossbody Dooney Bourke, and I love it. How do you know if a Dooney Bourke is real? Let me show you. It's going to have a little tag like that on the inside. Oh, so cute. Another Michael Kors. Tell me this wasn't like jackpot on the purses, right? Ugh, I did good on purses this time. This one needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But a nice, gorgeous, and this is a good size satchel, leather, pebbled leather. So something I've told you in the past, if it's stamped on the hardware, that has more likelihood that it's real. But then also, if you don't know purse brands, look for hardware stamped with the logo, because higher end brands will do that. Lower end brands aren't spending the money to do that. It doesn't always mean that it's a high end, really high price resellable item, but as you're learning brands, that's a quick way to go through purses and look and see which ones are worth your time to look up. There's a tag for Michael Kors. And then, yes, one last, I think this one's Coach. It kind of has like that old style Dooney Bourke look to it, but I'm pretty sure it's Coach. Yeah, it's Coach. So there's the Creed on the inside, and you can see the number back there. So those are the purses that I got. Tell me like that wasn't an amazing purse haul, right? And then I start with shoes, and then I go to purses. I actually only bought 3 pairs of shoes in this haul. The 2 that I showed you that I already sold, and then one more pair. Ooh, those are Uggs. Yes, please. I will be taking Uggs. Uggs in general sell well. And then for Uggs, let me take the price tag off. Typically speaking, Uggs, the most knocked off style are like the pull on, the classic Ugg style. That's typically the most knocked off style. And a lot of times you can tell that by the quality. The stitching will be off. The inside just does not feel like real soft. But then there is a tag on the inside. And it'll have like an SN number to look at. The newer ones too have like a hologram thing. Kind of like that first, it's a Michael Kors purse that I showed you, had like the hologram thing on it. So these are Ugg tie-up boots. These hit my average sale price, but then I also bought them because it's winter, and Ugg typically sells pretty fast for me, as shown by the pair of boots I just listed, and that sold in a day. Some other things that I am looking for, I'm keeping my eye out for holiday wear. And tell me this isn't like, that beading is like amazing. And then Florence Khazar, I hadn't heard of this brand before. It's 100% silk, which typically will tip you off too if it's silk. Look it up. That's a nice fabric. It's an extra large too, which I appreciate. I think it's probably vintage, but I'll have to look it up. I recently sold this brand in a dress. I didn't look up the comps. It was an amazingly gorgeous dress. It actually fit me like really well. I was kind of sad it sold. I didn't know where to wear it for. It was like this midi style, very like Downton Abbey, and I think that's probably why it sold, because I put Downton Abbey in the title, and with Halloween coming up and the movie just being released, and it had like this backless. Oh my god, it was gorgeous, but I had nowhere to wear it, so it sold. I mean, I think it sold in like 2 weeks. So this is a cute little holiday wear. I picked that up. This, if you watch me, my top my top brands, vintage is always up there as one of my top brands. And vintage is really big right now. All vintage. This is like probably 90s, late 80s, 90s vintage. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the brand. But this style is huge, and it's plus size. Plus size vintage is like super rare to find. Unfortunately, plus size in vintage sometimes is actually just modern, regular size, but it's still really hard to find, and so I definitely love picking up some plus size vintage. This one I picked up, I think it was on the low end of my average sale price, but I know it'll sell because it's vintage, it's winter time, and it's plus size. Lafayette 148, New York. I picked this up. It hit my average sale price. I need to get it listed because it's a lighter jacket. So before winter hits really bad, although we're getting snow this week. It was like 80 degrees yesterday, and then we're getting snow this week. So welcome to Colorado. So I need to get this one listed. This hit my average sale price, which is why I picked it up. And let me grab this one. Columbia. It's a white, and it has, that I saw at the store, and I'm looking at it, it has no staining. Finding a white jacket that is like clean, even around here, I mean, that's like very minimal wear on the sleeves. I've sold 2 Columbia jackets this style-ish in the past month, and they both sold upward of $60. I don't pick up all Columbia that I see anymore. I live in an active state in Colorado, so I see a lot of Columbia, Patagonia, the North Face. Oftentimes I'll pick it up and keep it for myself, which is a problem because I buy it to resell and then I try it on and I'm like, nope, I'm keeping that. Same with Lululemon and Athleta. But this Columbia I picked up, it's in really good shape. It is a newer style. Really vintage Columbia. I'll pick up like the 80s style because that sells well, and then like a newer style ski jacket like this I'll pick up. I do have one little thing down here I don't want to forget. This is my rack of to be listed. This is not something I've recently bought. I actually bought it at a thrift store for myself, and I wore it a couple times and I just didn't really like the way it fit, but look, it has like this cute cutout. And Alo, if you're not aware, is a yoga brand, and it's a higher end yoga brand similar to like Lululemon and stuff. It keeps its resale value pretty well. So there's that. I'm selling this because I can make money off of it instead of donating it since I didn't want it. I probably would not have picked it up unless it was maybe at the bins and really low priced. I probably would not have picked it up otherwise. But the nice thing about reselling, being a reseller, is if I don't want something, I just resell it. So that's my haul. Thanks for tuning in. I will pop on at the beginning of November with my sales for the month. And definitely make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm a bit more active on Instagram right now just because I am a mom of 3 and it's hard to be really consistent with YouTube videos, but I can quickly pop on throughout my day on Instagram, and I do a lot of the same content on Instagram, the data analytics, showing you how to use your data analytics And then I do short little hauls and IGTV videos and all of that. So hit the subscribe and notifications so that you get notifications of my new content. Drop comments down below. What did you like? Did you have any questions? How are your hauls going? Have a good day.